Hello.
Checking the levels.
Hello.
Hello there.
Everyone's moving. Excellent. Hello.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone.
How goes it?
Goes it well.
Good.
It goes.
Well,
been,
it goes.
How is
Fairly
everyone?
reasonable turnaround.
Well, we're
for us,
off to a
isn't
banging start.
Yeah.
High
Nice casual
energy
one, this one.
stream.
Yeah. Energy is low.
As you can see, the end of the episode peak for the semi-finale, penultimate episode of Bird Suddenly.
Nice.
It's not,
Nice.
it's not an episode of the Chateau saga, I would say.
The Chateau
Of course, certainly it's
saga.
got a good 5 years, isn't it? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this particular
absolutely.
saga.
We're milking this cow
Drawing
for
to-
years. Phil.
Drawing
But yeah.
to a conclusion.
It's actually been 6 months since the last episode.
But it's we are not drawing to the close of the Chateau saga as you just said. This is part 1 of 2 of the finale, which me and Adam have undertook to write together.
Yeah, it's a sort of
and-
bit of a departure, isn't it? We've always taken turns to write a script blindly for the rest of us. And this is the first time that, as we're coming towards the end of a particular series, we thought Adam and Iolo was still left to write. Let's chuck them in together, see what happens. So you're thinking this is... You think it's going to be a two-parter, isn't you? So this is part 1 of...
This is part 1 of a 2-part.
Power.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm really grateful that I had to we both got to sort of tackle this final one, because oh my god, the poor person who had to do it on their own, especially after imagine the concept of one of us having written this one and then the next person having to sort of completely summarize it. It's just I don't understand. I couldn't fathom how anyone could cover everything in the span of a regular episode. But
Yeah, it's been quite
it's been
sprawling, hasn't it? It's,
yeah.
So have you figured out how many episodes? How many we had then? So is this episode 8, 7?
Yeah.
Because Luke
7.
sat out this series, hasn't he? So yeah, so
Yeah,
we've got 2 each.
so-
And yeah.
Yes. So this is me and
Yeah,
Adam's.
it's 7.
We've not. Yeah. So 7. Yeah. So this is 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did read through the previous, obviously, we both, I think we both sort of had to give a tertiary read through to the previous ones, because we had this original document that was just here's all the clues that everyone set up, and it was just it was really funny to sort of read it again, just because you completely you either there's this weird thing that happens when you're reading where you're just so hyper conscious of where your line is.
Yeah, when you're
there's elements where you
performing.
can just tune it out.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many story elements I've missed during the actual performance because
Definitely.
I'm just worried about, God, what voice are they going to get me to do now, as opposed to trying to follow the story. So you have to sort of
You see your name at the bottom of the page, and you're
I
like,
know,
right.
Don't even fucking go. All caps as well. Oh, great! That's going to be something interesting.
Oh god, there's a bracket. Oh shit.
Oh fucking hell! But yeah, so it was really interesting. Sort of
Angry Irishman.
So sung is the worst to possibly say.
Yeah.
to the tune of, and you're like, oh no.
Have we all had a song in the whole history?
Well,
is anyone who's not done a song?
I know.
I have.
I sung.
Virg, have you done a song?
I did Kate Bush in the last one.
Yeah.
Self-prescribed.
Exactly.
Get it in there.
Luke had me do
Make me do it if I do.
Lion King fairly early on.
I had you sing in the first.
Lion King. I think that was the
Lion King. That's
episode
yeah.
4.
So, I think Yellow might be the first.
Yeah, he did not do his homework on the tune of the song.
Not at all.
This is the problem with
I'm the worst for
problem with
pop
the blind.
culture. It's my fear that someone just doesn't give me an accent, but gives me a
You're
character.
not always going to get the reference, are you? So it's
No,
it
terrifying.
can be tricky. I was with you on that one.
So, do you two want to give us a little recap then of where we're up to?
Yes.
Great segue. Birch, great segue.
Nice one. Oh yeah, one almost fitting of a sound.
TV.
Luke Williams. Hit me with a sound, Luke.
Staying alive. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess we have to license that
With
song.
something else, and it devolved into a Bee Gees thing.
Don't question his talent, Yolo. This is.
No, I'm
He knows
not.
what he's
It
doing.
was so spot on that I now have to license that song. They'll catch us. Copyright.
Can someone please splice all my stupid sounds together?
Yeah, that'd be a really fun one, actually.
Yeah, little mini.
So I think-
YouTube short.
Yeah. The thus far, so we were in the saga where we're in a chateau and it's a murder mystery at its heart.
Yeah, if you get us up to thing, I've got a question for you. If you can get us up to where we are in terms of the story prior to.
It's like a challenge.
Bring it. Roger murdered robot.
In 50 words or fewer.
Continue. Roger murdered robot. Let's go.
Yeah, sorry. I for some reason my headphones just blank out for a split second and then come back. So I lost sometimes I lose sound for a second. So if I go quiet all of a sudden for no reason, that's why. Yes, could someone speak so I can make sure that I can still hear you?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
We've got you, mate. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Roger, who is a robot, back alive again anyway, and a mysterious driver who was a character in our previous round of scripts has been sent to this chateau in rural France to solve that mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a selection of casting characters at the chateau already who appear to be either just guests or some way in there to try and solve the mystery themselves.
Includes Roger's husband, who didn't realise he was a robot until after the grisly murder.
Yep, absolutely.
And then sort of.
And then I guess strange things seems to sort of go on around in the castle. Like we've had lots of various talking paintings and statues and various items of furniture and things like that.
And then in the process of everything. Sorry, you carry on. I was just sort of like going to tag in.
I was just we had another murder since then as well. Another death.
Yeah, there's various characters knocking around. Some that are already guests, and then an American tour bus that's turned up to do a murder mystery weekend, which is had to try and sit in alongside the actual murder mystery. And they've been up until recently oblivious to the shady goings on. They just assumed it was all part of some elaborate plot for their amusement.
Is it just me, or does Phil's microphone sound like prepubescent Optimus Prime?
It sounds luscious to me.
Luscious.
Just you there.
There is a bit of fuzz to it, but I'm not sure if there's that.
I'll close my window, make sure there's no outside noise.
Okay.
Just try and keep yourself cool. But
I thought you meant like close your window as in like on here.
Oh no.
But we've had like loads of like random things happen since then. In the last episode, the particular highlights that I think we need to sort of like drawn into is that the beiges were revealed to be some sort of weird hive mind. We had the second murder was of Beryl, who's we found out that I think Phil established that it was the wine that her wine had been poisoned. She then cracked herself like a nut and emerged as a younger version of Beryl.
Was she murdered? I didn't quite understand that. Well, was she murdered or was she always?
She was
TBC.
No.
TBC.
Who knows? Yeah, it's all been. That's the problem.
She always a nut?
The last, she always not. I mean, think about it.
Name of the podcast.
Was she always a nut? Brought to you.
Was there seeds planted, so to speak, in the early episodes?
Oh, Phil. Don't try and relive the glory.
It's gonna be rolling
downhill from here
until you just kick me out of the
I don't think there's anything else that needs establishing.
I don't think so.
Oh, and
we've
had multiple drivers.
Yeah,
and then we've got.
She was
a couple of tonal shifts, wasn't there? So
named as driver 451, right?
451, yeah. Driver 451. We've also got a crystal that was mentioned. I believe that Phil established that there was some sort of like crystal that could travel through time.
We've had flashbacks to sort of the past with Cyril, who is the sort of manager of the chateau, as him as a child, and his dad and company up to sort of mysterious deeds.
Yes.
Yeah, which may or may not tie into the murder, so may just be,
yeah,
maybe irrelevant.
Red.
And was there? And just in terms of picking up the last week's episode, in terms of dangling threads, so there had Roger just entered like a self-destruct sequence, hadn't he? And
we ended on
revealed to have
some sort of
Roger.
Yeah.
Or
What?
yeah, sort of
Sorry,
like vague hints. of, like,
Clarity from the author.
No.
Stop talking, y'all.
No, I'm sure Hetty was established as having
Spoiler.
been worked as a
He does
robot
this.
factory
He
with.
gives the game away very, very.
She worked in
No,
a
but
in a like a cybernetics company with
Cybernetics company, yes.
with George. That was the
With
that was
George,
the,
yeah. So like they're hinting at the fact that like they have familiarity with robots.
And that was all we know.
Yeah.
So we'll never know.
That could not happen.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
That would be more of a twist at this point.
Yeah.
On that
No,
note,
for the
then.
recap, I feel like I might be more lost than ever. But just a quick question to you two: did you, so obviously you've written it together, which is a new thing for us? Did you have sort of shared ideas about where you might want to take it, or how did you go about hashing it out? Of obviously without giving story details, was it like you always said, "Oh, I think of this," and Adam said, "Actually, yeah, I was thinking along similar lines," or have you had to converge against some sort of central ideas, or
Did
just
you
throwing
find
scripts around?
I want to know. Did you?
No, I think we didn't. We really didn't. And I think, to be fair, I think we did have broadly similar ideas about what we kind of wanted to do. We had to like
100%.
niggle on the details a little bit, but in broad strokes, I think we were kind of on very much the same page. So
Definitely.
it's
Cool.
been
That's good.
it's been a seamless
Just
process.
It's not like alternating scenes where you're just pushing in completely different directions.
Yeah, well, I've written this scene, so
yeah, we've
go
literally
from
just
there.
drawn a line down the middle. There's like two scripts happening concurrently. No, yeah, the story. Like we originally like did like the broader strokes,
Hot boiler
sort of like
technique
wrote
once.
the. We wrote like the overall sort of like narrative as what we thought could happen. I was originally I read through it and just like went through sort of like broad clues, but then fundamentally it's just sort of like what was going to happen was pretty evident. We were both on very much the same page, and then we just established who did what, and it sort of fit into place really well. I'm quite pleased with everything. Did you guys hear that, or is it just me?
Yeah,
Cool. That's just my mum. She's got the loudest voice, the loudest talking voice of anyone ever.
Classic Welsh.
Classic Welsh. Hello.
I'm sure she said bio. I'm pretty sure she said bio, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. I am going to close the door before we carry on, though. And scream at my mother.
So everyone
This is
wants to go.
going back about 10, 12 years, but when I was having a chat with Yola's mum once, and she asked me a question, and I had to say, "Oh, sorry, I don't speak Welsh." She was speaking English. It's just a very thick accent.
Fucking hell.
And that's yeah.
In all fairness, like
Oh my
she
God.
does throw the occasional Welsh word in there as well.
Luke, I think you were in the room actually, but it was it's been a while ago. Yola's old house.
Sorry, I
I
don't
don't
speak
speak
Welsh.
Welsh.
This week, well, yeah, my like yeah, you guys used to
What was the question?
do
What
my
was the
mum's
question?
accent.
I don't remember. I didn't understand that.
Dude, I'm sure. I assume she might have repeated it slower and pointed at things for you, Phil.
This is why to this day when I go like, "Oh, I'm going
Would
to cinema
you
Phil," she goes,
like
"Slow
some
Phil."
sauce?
Don't speak Welsh. Yeah.
Yeah, she heard the name and assumed the racist.
No, great. Cool. So I think we're ready to hop in then.
Let's do it.
Luke Williams,
An
hit me with the sound. Luke, hit me with the sound.
Beep.
Beep works. Excellent.
It's good.
I've run out of sounds. I pressed all the buttons. Yeah, it's
Another
recycling.
question to Tom.
Sound better. Cool.
Excellent. Right, so let's get into it, shall we?
Right.
Adam, the one thing that we didn't designate is who's reading the title. So if you want to take it away, buddy.
Yeah, it's one of you do this week, one of you next week, I guess. Yeah.
But suddenly, episode 24, Who Killed the Robot, Part 1, written by Mr. Roberts and Mr. Bunn. And do you want to do the previously bit?
Yeah, I will. Previously on But Suddenly, a loud piercing noise is suddenly heard throughout the chateau. It's somewhere between a metallic screech and a human scream. The driver bolts from her seat and runs out of the room. Beryl clings to her back. Interior, Chateau corridor, day. The driver comes to the corridor of bedrooms and notices most of the patrons are gathered outside George Townsend's room. We hear a robotic voice from off-screen.
Factory reset confirmed. 5, 4, 3.
No!
The driver pushes past the other guests and bursts into the room. Interior, George Townsend's room, continuous. Inside, Roger is still standing stock still in the centre of the room. His eyes have vanished and been replaced by glowing orbs. George stands beside him, crying. Rog, stop saying that. Rog, stop it. So done of these accents.
1. Bleep. Bloop.
The driver makes her way over to George Townsend and grabs him by the throat. She lifts him up and pins him against the wall.
What did you do?
George sobs as he fails to muster a response to the driver, transfixed by his robo-husband's glowing eyes. Hetty, Marcel, Florence, Robert, Cyril and Monique enter the room to find out what's going on.
Bleep. Bloop. Bleep. Bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
What's going on?
Beggar's gonna blow!
Take cover!
Roger, no!
George leaps toward his husband. The remainder of the group cower and dive for cover as Roger's incessant bleep blooping reaches a deafening tone.
Aye.
It's like Eurovision, just a subtle delay with Phil, and it's making it really dramatic. Roger's glowing eyes turn black, and he becomes still.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My internet's just gone to shit.
And now we're going to France to speak to Phil.
Yeah, 12 points. Wait for it.
I can still hear you guys, but my internet seems to be all over the place at the minute. Can you hear me in a minute?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently not. Okay.
Just in the past a little bit.
Okay.
No, I started 5 minutes ago, so I don't know, we need some sort of reset. Yeah.
Should we pause for a second for technical difficulties?
Yeah, let's pause for a little bit. Let's go back to the.
Iolo, if you check on the file for last week, there might be some robot jokes for you.
Okay. It's too much work.
I'm just grateful that for once the pause isn't my fault.
It's not my fault. It's just internet being shit.
Yay!
It seems to be leveling out a bit, doesn't it? So just open a second. How's my audio? Am I all right?
Your audio's fine. I think it's just a matter of there being somewhat of a delay.
The delays, yeah.
Yeah.
Untenable.
Yeah, just tell me 2 seconds. Right?
To me, you still sound like the
It's going to be interesting.
Autobots.
I mean, it works.
Just try your best not to leave Skype.
I guess it works for robot
really mangle
voice, but going forward, it might be an issue.
It did actually work really well for the initial sort of Roger stuff. It was good.
I mean, I thought it was intentional.
Yeah.
That was
I'll just rejoin the Skype thing and see what happens.
Okay.
Y'all, apologies. Hope this throws out the OBS code.
It
Live
probably
television,
will. Oh.
Whoa,
Luke and Verge, you seem. Oh yeah, there's an arm in
there.
Adam, you're split between two people at the moment. I won't bother to mess about anything, but for now, I'm gonna. No, I'm not even gonna do anything. This is just the professionalness of this stream. Is just this. Should we? Shall we just restart? Maybe just go straight into the script, or do you want to just leave it as is?
I don't know at this point, if I'm honest.
Should wait until Phil rejoins and then see what state the boxes are in.
Cool, that sounds fine. Anyway, let's just go to chat and see if they've got any questions. They actually do.
No,
Luke,
we don't.
No, Luke. They're saying that your opinions of Breath of the Wild are completely wrong.
It's interesting that they would know that, considering that was all off stream.
No, they heard it somehow. I have
The
been
internet's
just
always
going on a
listening.
tangent on the chat myself, and they've joined in. Iolo Roberts says you're looking very handsome today, Burge. thanks for that, Iolo Roberts. He's given us
my
20 bits.
fan club, the one member of my fan club. So thanks, Yola.
And yeah, that's it. That's the end of my there are YouTube comments bit. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm here all week.
I can tell you an anecdote that happened earlier today.
Please do.
Went into a retro game shop, having a look, gonna sell some of my old games, and I went in, noticed they had a Mega Man section. So I went over to the guy and I was like, "Yeah, I've got Mega Man X3 and 4 for the PC, like the big box versions. They're like pretty rare, but I don't know whether they'd be valuable at all." And he was like, "Well, yeah, take pictures of them, send them in, get the owner to check." It was only after I'd left the shop that I realised I was wearing this T-shirt.
Oh my god.
And I was like, he must have thought I was an absolute, like, he worked in a retro game shop. He must have been like, this guy's the biggest nerd I've ever seen in my life. It's come in specifically to ask about Mega Man wearing a Mega Man T-shirt.
Just like a weird Mega Man fantasist.
You need to go back tomorrow wearing a Mario T-shirt and ask about Mario.
Just ask about
Got an
Mario.
original 1986 Mario Super Mario Bros. 2 on the NES.
It wasn't 1986.
Fuck.
Hello.
And
Hey!
everyone's in the wrong place.
How am
Except
I?
for Adam, good job.
Fine, Luke. Fine.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh, never mind. So we're gonna have to be different people for this one.
Luke,
feel-
you gained your hair. It's a miracle.
It's beautiful. How was it? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah,
like
yeah. I still answer the question now.
Now.
Ooh, not bad.
That's
not
pretty
bad.
good.
Oh, I think some of it.
right, I am just going to. Oh no.
I feel like we could probably just leave the nameplates, haven't it? I'm not sure who's checking it. To be fair,
Yeah,
that's not
cool.
Burge. I don't know what
Sweet.
who's doing that.
That's cool by me. I mean,
My
me and
beard
you are in
is
the right spots, Adam,
sort
and
of
we're the ones that are
mature,
important here.
salt and
Yeah, well,
pepper
exactly.
enough
We're
to
the
be
ones that
Burge.
care at this point.
All right, let's just carry on. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Back from George leaps towards his husband. Let's get that goodbye again.
Okay. George leaps toward his husband. The remainder of the group cower and dive for cover as Roger's incessant leap blooping reaches a deafening tone.
Quick stylistic question. When you say normal tone, do you mean not like we're holding anything up or anything, but do you mean normal robot tone or normal Roger?
Yeah, that to me that's like a generic robot voice.
Okay. Goodbye.
Very good. Roger's glowing eyes turn black and he becomes still. The moment of silence is pierced by a grief-stricken scouse scream.
No, Rog, why?
George,
That's triggering for me.
he's been doing that in rehearsal. It's been great. George falls into Roger's shoulder, sobbing. A whirring sound followed by the Windows 95 boot-up tone interrupts his cries.
Bing-a-ding-ding-ding.
Initiating. Core systems rebooting. Performing system diagnostics.
What the fuck now?
Rog, he's alive.
Hetty makes her way toward Roger and tries to drag him away.
Well, that was a close one. I'll just take poor Roger here to my room to fix any.
You'll do no such thing.
The driver stops Hetty in her tracks. Hetty lets go of Roger's arm and stands in a corner nervously.
Complete reboot successful. All systems nominal. Awaiting personality installation. Commencing direct programming subroutines. Primary directive 1. Ensure happiness of George Townsend. Ensure he lives a full, happy life as he deserves. Primary directive 2. Acquire time dilation crystal on behalf of Gardner Cybernetics.
Gardner Cybernetics?
What?
What the diable is going on here?
It's not what it looks like. I can explain.
Roger gets up to leave the room in a trance, but the doorway is blocked. He politely waits. The driver turns to Hetty.
And you will. I think you'd better come with me, Miss Gardner. I think you'd better all come with me.
The driver addresses the gathered crowd of all patrons.
Downstairs, everybody. We're all going to get ourselves nice and comfy and talk this whole mess out.
Well, finale. I've had time we put a lid on this hole.
Not you, Cyril. Nor you, Monique. Patrons only.
What the dickens? The driver ushers the remainder of the group away, leaving Cyril and Monique standing dumbfounded.
Cut to interior, Chateau corridor continuous. The driver leads Hetty, in turn leading Roger, down the corridor. George follows closely, sobbing hysterically, surrounded by the bulk of our other guests.
Keep it moving.
The driver pushes Hetty in the back, hurrying her along. Cyril chases the group, clearly offended by the exclusion.
Now, uno momento, por favore. You'd exclude me from the grande reveal in my own establishment?
This is above your pay grade, I'm afraid, Mr. Brazingstoke.
Above my pay grade, but I am the proprietor.
And if you want things to stay that way, you'll stay the hell out of the dining hall.
The driver sighs and pauses a moment,
Just
turning to Cyril solemnly.
Point out that my internet seems to be going all over the place again.
Oh no. Just carry on for now, but...
Just trust me, Cyril.
Yeah.
I'll explain later.
The driver looks at Cyril earnestly and pats his shoulder, ending the protest. The group turn from the corridor and trudge down the stairs into the hall, where they pass a familiar wall of portraits.
Remarkable the boy hasn't twigged yet.
After all this time.
Sad, really. Clues everywhere. We're not exactly in hiding, are we? Not a lot behind their eyes, is there? One wonders where he gets it, Jocasta?
Always been the case, hasn't it? Ever since he was a boy.
Ha! Yeah, since he was a...
Silence, you fool!
The fox cowers.
Poor old Cyril wouldn't know a conspiracy that bit him on there. Oh, do fuck off, you horrid old painting, or I'll have you duluxed.
The members of the portrait stare awkwardly at one another. Bird, you were far too chameleon doing it. Far too comfortable doing silence, you fool. That was excellent. Silence, you fool. Sorry, carry on.
Interior
Okay,
Chateau.
it seems really janky.
You're a bit delayed, maybe.
Okay, we'll roll with it. If I have to, I'll reset the router, but that'll be another delay. So.
Okay.
See what we do.
Interior Chateau dining hall continuous. The driver ushers everyone into the dining hall. They all tentatively take seats at the variety of tables dotted across the room. George is angrily shouting at Hetty, who ushers in a dazed George. Wait, that's not George. Roger.
Nope. Roger, yeah.
Still in the midst of initializing.
Hetty, what did all that mean? What did Roger mean by ensure George is happy? Did you program a robot to marry me?
No. Well, yes. But it's more complicated than that. More nuanced.
Update in progress. 10% complete.
Jesus, I don't give a shit how nuanced it is. I want you to tell me right now. I want answers, damn it.
We all do, and we'll get them in good time. Take a seat.
Listen, I've had enough of your shit. I'm not...
Oh, sorry, it's me. The driver looms over George intimidatingly. She stares him down.
Fine, I'll sit. I was going to anyway.
George sits beside Hetty and Roger. The chefs from back the table raise their hands to speak. I really don't see why me and Clarence are here. We're just chefs. Innocuous, innocent chefs.
Pushing a bit hard there, Claude.
Oh, come off it, you wombats. You're the most suspicious one of you. Oh, no, fuck this.
That's not true. What about them?
You again, Adam.
Claude gestures to the beiges. Sorry.
We are not
You're not
suspicious.
suspicious.
I'm still robot voice there.
Fair point.
Settle down. You're here because I told you to be. Now sit down and shut up.
So, have you discovered the perpetrator of these terrible crimes?
I have. Yes. First, We need to look at the fuller picture. Rid ourselves of the true crime at the heart of all this. Your terrible acting.
What do you bloody mean, you drongo?
All this pageantry, all this worthless play acting. Let's cut the crap. No one in this room claims no one in this room is who they claim to be. You're all spies.
We hear gaffs amongst those within the dining room.
Didgeridoo!
Update in progress, 20% complete.
The delay on that is perfect.
I know. That's why I had more words than you guys.
That's true.
We are not spies.
We are not spies.
Did the delay work there? Yeah, I was on time.
Yeah, not too sure what the fuck you are, if I'm honest.
Mr. and Mrs. Beige smile a wide, unsettling grin.
I'm mostly referring to the rest of you. Let's drop the charade. You're all here on the orders of your respective countries or organizations to keep a watchful eye on what's housed beneath this very chateau.
Crystal? What crystal?
Really? That easy. Thank you all for clarifying. Yes, the crystal.
What are you talking about? Quel Cristal.
Well, since you joined in, let's start with you, shall we? Madame Florence Desjardins, alias Avidis Montpierre, member of the French DGSE.
Devious Frenchie.
Update in progress. 30% complete. All right. Calm yourselves, you Velsians. I'm merely here to ensure l'anglais do not get their grubby mitts on the crystal.
Oh, bloody French. Should have seen it coming.
The role of driver will be played by Birch for a moment.
The same driver, right?
Same driver.
Yeah. I wouldn't be so high and mighty, Robert McCoy. Or should I say, Pond, John Pond, single 014.
Brian
Do it!
Traitor!
Member of MI6 and here again on security detail.
Guilty as charged. Ashley Shea. Do you really expect me to talk? No, Mr. Pond. I expect you to shut the fuck up and listen.
Update in progress. 28% complete. It was 30 before.
Yay! Only Phil would notice that. Only Phil would notice that.
That was a
That
gag
goat.
we literally came up with last night.
Yeah, last night. For you, Phil, because we knew you'd be on track with the numbers. Well, slap me in the face and piss on my raccoon. This is a mystery trip for the history books. Genuine espionage.
The Americans, you're the worst of them. CIA, the lot of you.
I have never
Well, I
heard
never.
such.
Yeah.
Andy, what the fuck, man?
No, he's fighting it now.
Wait, you guys were CIA? But I answered the ad in the paper. You said you were traveling around Europe doing murder mystery weekends. You called yourselves the Crime Investigators Alliance. Now I hear it.
We thought bringing along a stooge would straighten our cover.
Stooge being the operative word.
Hey, fuck you, man.
I could kill you with my pinky. Let's dance, sugar tits.
After all we've been through, I'm just joshing, old buddy, old pal.
That's what I thought.
The Yanks, too. Bloomin' Nora, guys. What's a kangaroo to do to find genuine friendship, eh? I trusted you guys. I gave you my heart, and you just...
Yeah, well, this brings us to you, Marcel.
Well, fuck.
Or should I say, Wally B. What the fuck is that?
Wallaby.
Australian Angshi. I can't say I'm familiar. Security. Chinese spy.
Offensive Chinese sectors were not used in the making of this episode.
Well, no use fighting it. Suppose it's nice to meet you all again.
I knew that accent was fake.
Indeed. Really needs to work on that. Seems to slip out in and out.
Yeah, it wasn't my best. I do a pretty decent robot.
The crowd gasped. George looks appalled.
Not like that.
The robot, designated Roger. We all knew the creation of Hetty Gardner, CEO of Gardner Industries.
Hetty nods gently.
Stone Cold bitch too.
I didn't intend for it to go this far, George. I was just trying to...
Deceive me till death do us part. After all we've been to, after everything
Update in progress. 50% complete.
Oh, shut up, Roger.
I think it might be worth bringing us all up to speed, Miss Gardner.
Hetty sighs.
Fine.
Interior, Gardner Industries Day. A younger-looking Hetty sits in a lab coat at a cluttered desk. Her eyes are red. She's been crying. A dictaphone sits on the desk. Its red light blinking.
All the latest readings point to us being on the right lines. We're close to gay. How can he be gay?
Hetty shakes her head, flustered. She pushes some buttons on the dictaphone and composes herself.
All the latest readings point to an imminent breakthrough. Test models Delta through Gamma show encouraging signs of naturalistic personality. Guess it would explain all those times he never...
Hetty slumps in her chair and glances at a photo of her and George that sits alongside her monitor. She wipes the tear from her face and sits up with a fresh determination, frantically tapping at the keyboard.
It was pure obsession that took over me. I see that now.
Update in progress. 68% complete.
Cut 2, interior, Gardner Industries Lab Day. Hetty frantically manoeuvres around a table where the body of Roger lies, chest open and a mess of wires spilling out. Several photos of George are pinned around the lab.
It took over. Everything else was irrelevant. It sounds ridiculous now with hindsight, but we were meant to be together. Ever since university, you were supposed to be mine, George. And I'd find a way to make that happen, no matter what.
Hetty flicks a switch and Roger twitches to life. Excellent.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
And I enjoyed the hand motions as much as anything. It was a visual treat.
Cut 2, interior, Gardner Industries Night. A very dark room is lit only by a multiple of television screens and monitors. Each shows a different angle from inside a house. The largest central monitor shows a live POV feed. George stares levelly into the camera. Oh, Raj, I love you.
Update in progress. 89% complete.
Hetty watches on.
Cut 2, interior Chateau dining hall. The group sits silently as Hetty finishes.
I'm so sorry, George. Really, I am.
Hetty, I had no idea. I still can't believe you'd do that for me.
Update 100% complete. Rebooting.
Roger blinks and looks around the room as if lucid once more.
George, how are you, love? It's dinner time already. Hetty, glad for you to join us.
George smiles, holds Roger's hand and smiles in Hetty's direction.
But what about the crystal? We all heard how you intended Roger to steal it. You really think we believe you made a robot caught your amoureux? What's that, sorry? Amoureux? Amoureux?
Doesn't matter.
It's French.
Don't worry about it.
She's really French. Real French. I did no such bloody thing, you bastard. Don't go spreading lies about me, or...
Silent mode.
Roger keeps talking, gesticulating angrily, but no sounds come from his mouth.
I did. Those subroutines are built into our every model. Decision made by the board. Greedy, visionless bastards. They had no bearing on his creation, nor is it the reason we're here.
Ah, yes, it makes perfect sense. The robot, because of its secondary directive, stole the crystal and someone killed him for it.
Mate, you are nailing that.
No, that's impossible. I was watching through the weekend. Roger didn't make an attempt at the crystal, not once. He was with George most of the time, and then in the middle of the night, his live stream just cut off.
Correct. Roger did not steal the crystal.
He didn't?
He didn't.
So who did? Cut to.
Cut to interior Chateau basement. In the gloomy basement, Cyril sits on a small stool beside a large glowing mass of the time crystal, staring at its swirling exterior.
Are you there?
Silence.
Please, are you there?
The crystal remains silent. We hear the shuffling of footsteps in the gloom behind Cyril. Monique enters.
I thought I'd find you here, love. You can tell me what this is all about then? Something to do with this thing, I suppose.
That's new for Monique, is it? Or is that Monique? Has that always been Monique? Love it.
Well, it's not a bird, so
Oh yeah. Monique motions to the crystal.
It's obviously not the large Himalayan salt lamp you told me about, is it? Come on.
Cyril smiles warily.
Very astute, you, my dear. How long have you known?
Since day dot, Cyril. Not as thick as the sand, you know. Got you down here talking to not long ago after I first moved in. Seemed like it did when you did. It seemed like it did me good when things were stressful, so I just left it. But now,
Cyril considers a moment.
Brian.
You've always done Monique.
Yeah, Monique
Yeah.
has always been you.
it was birds for a while.
No, it was
I
just
think it was.
one episode. Just
Oh,
one
that sort
episode.
of thing.
The one you wrote.
So, I wrote Monique was my character originally, and I gave it to Purge.
It's just got. She's got more Python than previous, but it's good. It's good. It's good. We'll go with it.
Needs that distinction.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Très bien. Truthfully, I'm not quite sure what it is. It's been here as long as I can remember. The old noggin isn't quite as sharp as it once was, but I think this thing is why my father brought me here in the first place. Back when I was a garçon petit.
Cut to interior, Cyril's bedroom, night when he was a garçon petit. Cyril sits in his musty bedroom on a rickety-looking bed, staring longingly out the window. He watches on, and his father, Alexander, and his two friends, Sebastian and William, jovially make their way towards the rose bushes at the far end of the garden, clutching a red-growing crystal.
I think it was important to him for some reason.
A maid enters the room.
I'm not doing an Irish accent.
It's just Burns' condition. Suddenly, he won't do Irish. It'll get him kicked out of the house.
Oh no, we forgot to read his ledger.
Yeah. It's either rider, Burge.
Like your linen's changed, Master Brazenstoke. Shall I fluff your pillows?
The joke isn't going to work, Burge.
Do you want to tag someone else in if you don't want to do it? Young Cyril does not respond.
We're an Irish-free zone, guys.
Young Cyril does not respond, still transfixed at the window.
One might say too important.
Outside, the men head deep into the bush. Once out of sight, we see a flash of red, and immediately afterwards, the three men return into view. They carry large suitcases and laugh merrily, slapping one another in the back. Cyril sighs. Cut to interior, Chateau basement, present day. Monique places a comforting hand on Cyril's shoulder.
Never really spoken about him. I never asked. Why do you think it's so important to him?
I'm not sure, but again and again I'd see the same thing. Father and his friends off into the forest and that flash of red light. Seconds later they'd come back full of joy de vivre, and then...
And then what?
Well, after a while of that going on, things started to happen, to change.
He started to soften.
Not exactement.
Cut to interior Cyril's bedroom night. So young Cyril sits in his cozy bedroom on a plush, soft bed, staring longingly out the window. His father and friends again make their way to the rose bushes. The maid enters.
I mean, I'm offered to pass it to anyone if anyone else wants to try this, but...
Yeah, I'll do it for you. You all right, lads? How's the crack? Them pillows looking like they could use a fluffing, so they do. There we go. Just never show this.
Unbelievable.
Never show this to Karen.
She's live. She's in the comments.
Cyril looks at her curiously but does not respond. He returns looking longingly out the window. We see the familiar red flash of light and his father and his friends return with a skip in their step.
Things started to change.
Cut to interior Cyril's bedroom night later. Young Cyril sits in his lavishly decorated room on a grand four-poster bed, staring longingly out the window. He looks on as his father and friends march towards Rosebush once more. Cyril's maid, a floating green top hat, enters the room. Top of the morning to you, laddie. Them sheets are looking completely arseways, ain't they? Cyril is aghast at the floating top hat's presence.
Who are you? What's this?
And look at these Banjang's pillows, in need of a right good fluffing. You let Hattie get her rim on them now, it's no bother.
Why? One Cyril. Let her fluff me. Daddy wants her fluffing.
Young Cyril looks at Hattie the maid and his talking pillows in shock. He gets up in a panic and rushes out the room. Cut to interior Chateau basement, present day. Monique laughs, shaking her head in disbelief.
Oh, bloody hell. Cyril, you had me going down there for a moment.
Cyril's face is straight and solemn. Monique stops laughing.
Come on, Monique. Think about it. I know this place can scramble your noodle, but really think about it. We've been entertaining a talking marsupial for several weeks. And I know I've seen you talking to the men in the clock.
Gunther and Jorgen. Good as gold, them lads. From the south of Germany, you know. Takes them an age to get a sentence out, but...
Monique pauses, catching herself.
Well, bloody hell.
There's a monologue Luke was worried about. You got your drink, Luke?
I've ran out. It's okay.
The driver circles the tables of the dining hall.
That's the fundamental ruse, isn't it? As I've said to the Americans, solve the murder of Roger one needs only to determine the motives. The issue previous to this was that those very motives were classified. Now, in our position of openness, we can talk about them. The motive for the murder was, of course, the crystals. Occam's razor states the simplest answer is usually the case. And in the case of a robot being murdered in a chateau sat on the top of an invaluable time crystal, it stands to reason that he was killed over said crystal.
But I assure you, Roger did not.
I'm well aware, Miss Gardner. Roger did not take the crystals. At least, willingly. That would be our two chefs, Claude and Clarence.
Everyone gasps and turns in unison. Oh, sorry.
I kind of work together.
Completely.
Everyone gasps and turns in unison to the two chefs, who look up at the rafters to avoid their gaze.
J'accuse!
Quick, Clarence, peg it!
Too much.
The pair make a run for it, but collide with the door awkwardly and tumble on top of one another.
I took the precaution of locking the doors.
Right. Well then, it wasn't us. We're innocent.
Sit down, you fools.
I knew you lot were suspicious. You murderers! You vile murderers! You killed my Rog!
We did no such thing.
That's right. They didn't.
Oh, bloody hell. You just said they stole the crystals.
Well, they did do that, but it didn't quite go to plan. Did it, boys?
Cut to interior chateau entryway 2 weeks earlier. There's a ring at the door. Cyril meanders over and answers it. Stood in the doorway is Claude and Clarence, pulling awkwardly at their chef's uniform.
You somehow wrangled yourselves into the roles of chef. It's evident from your food that you've no formal training.
Could have done a better trifle on the barbie. Sorry, carry on. The pair stand upright when they see Cyril.
Oh, hello. You're the boss of this place.
I am le proprietaire, yes.
We're your new, tall, white hat men.
Chefs, you idiot.
Chefs, yeah.
Oh, magnifique! I've been waiting your arrival. Please, entree. Su casa, mi casa.
Cyril ushers the boys inside. We pan over to the van, which reads Paris Patisserie Party. Cut to interior Paris Patisserie Party van, rear, day. In the back of the van, naked with their hands bound, are two mustachioed gentlemen.
Love the callback to Paris Patisserie Party.
Yay, I knew you'd get that.
Quite the pickles you've got ourselves into a fair, yeah?
It's so good.
Oh, boggity dog, good, yogi bog, bog, dog.
You can say that again, please.
No problem with that. Hasn't got a problem with that one.
I was just about to say, give Burge the racist pass. What's this game?
Straight in there.
You can say that again, Freya.
Fucking hell.
Phil, I think that's my favourite accent that you've ever done.
That is fucking great. That was pretty funny. Cut to interior basement day. Cyril continues to talk to Monique.
When I found out everything was changing on, I quickly tried to warn Father. I ran to him.
Cut to interior basement past. Young Cyril rushes down towards the basement, calling out for his father.
Dad!
He burst into a basement room. Cut to interior basement night.
And that's when I found it.
Young Cyril finds himself in a dark, barren room in the basement.
Dad, there's something going wrong. My pillows, they're talking. The maid, she's...
Cyril trails off as he notices something in the room. Not his father, but the large, red, pulsating crystal in the room's corner. He hears a faint whisper emanating from it.
I heard it whisper, echoing voices from all over. Strange, enigmatic whispers calling back to me. Callbacks, one might say. Wake up, ladies. Rise and shine, shine, shine.
Young Cyril slowly approaches the crystal in a daze. I make smells.
Have you two bumbling fools affected my timeline? Line.
Young Cyril is now at the foot of the great mass of red crystalline ore. It pulsates with energy. A mess of whispers from across time are echoed through it.
And then I heard her voice.
There you go, my dear. Make sure you take your coat. Don't want you catching a cold. It gets just as cold here as at home, remember? See you later, mon amour.
The last voice seems to catch Cyril's ear. He places a loving hand on the crystal's face.
A calm, soothing voice that made me feel at ease. Made everything feel all right.
Cut to interior kitchen day. Claude and Clarence familiarize themselves with the kitchen. They toy with the cooker and open the drawers.
You took the role to get yourselves into the chateau, which will give you the perfect vantage point to proceed with your plan.
You sure about this, Claude? Could we not just sneak in at night? Seems a bit out in the open this way.
Trust me, we slap a few steaks on the grill, make some soup, and we'll be golden. Then once everyone is asleep, we'll have free reign of the place. We'll be inside men.
I thought we were to nick stuff. Not sure I'm too comfortable with that, Claude.
Claude's eyes. Cut to interior basement present day. Cyril looks towards Monique solemnly.
And that's why I started coming down here as often as I could. I'd come to Écoute. Écoute for her voice. Écoute out for any sign of her.
Monique approaches Cyril and lays a gentle hand on his shoulder.
Did you manage to tell your dad about all the changes?
None. He didn't want to hear it.
Cut to interior basement past. In the doorway, Alexander, Cyril's father, and his two friends stand angrily as Cyril places a tender hand on the crystal.
They had other priorities.
Cyril, what the devil are you doing down here?
Father,
To your room this instant!
But father, the maid, she's changed. Everything is talking. Everything is...
I won't hear it! Off to bed with you now! Cyril dejectedly makes his way past his father to his room. Cut to interior basement hallway night. Claude and Clarence wander the basement hallways, grabbing any valuable items they find and stuffing them into their pockets.
Then, in the middle of the night, you'd navigate to the chateau, grabbing whatever you could steal. That's why the lights in your kitchen would be on so late at night.
They hear a sound at the end of the hallway, a faint whisper. They cautiously open the door and peer inside. Inside is the red, glowing crystal.
That's when you found it. The crystal. You soon thereafter altered your plans. Why steal trinkets when you could steal the crystal, which is surely worth far more?
Cut to interior dining room present day. The driver looms over the chef's table, talking to them as they cower.
You decided the next night to mine away some of the crystal. Squirrel it away, see if it was worth anything. You likely used something from the kitchen to chip away at it, like a meat tenderizer.
Meat tenderizer. That would have been much better.
Shut up, you idiot.
Cut to interior basement present day. Cyril looks down at the ground despondently.
Wow. I'm sorry you had to bear that, Cyril. He couldn't have accosted you like that.
It's quite Bunn, Monique. I wouldn't have to bear it much longer.
So, the voice you mentioned, did you ever hear it again?
I was given little opportunity to back then. They put the crystal under lock and key, barred me from going near it, made plans to protect the asset at all costs.
Wow. They went to all the bother just because you managed down here?
Apparently I wasn't their only motive. To interior basement past. Alexander, William and Sebastian stand angrily around the crystal. Rather than rush to bed, I'd stayed in the stairway a moment longer, hoping to hear the woman's soothing voice once more. But instead, I overheard something else.
Bloody fool.
He's a curious little boy, Alex. Bound to get the better of him at times.
Curious indeed.
Sebastian seems to be surveying the crystal, listening intently at its whispering. Alexander and William join him.
Seems the crystal is talking to him, chaps.
The voices of two individuals can be heard whispering through the crystals. We'll come back tonight. Mine it. Got to be worth something.
Mine it? How'd you do that?
You know, like in Minecraft. Just hits it with a pickaxe.
And where do you plan on finding a pickaxe?
I don't know. Maybe we can find something in the kitchen. Corn holders, the whisk.
And make a glowing crystal souffle.
Come on. There's got to be something we can use in there. Alexander, William, and Sebastian exchange concerned looks.
Concerning.
I'll have the chefs drawn and quartered. Wait until I get my hands on them. I'll wring their necks. I'll tighten my grip around their throats like a...
Burgess' posh voice is brilliant.
Great voice.
I'll wring their necks is great.
Wring their necks.
William, steady yourself. Those aren't our chefs, dear boy. Remember, Dr. L told us the time crystal does not experience time as we do. Those voices could be years in the future for all we know.
Well, gosh, blot it. What are we to do? Those mangy fucks intend on stealing our precious commodity.
And what the devil is Minecraft? Did Hitler write the secret?
We need to protect our asset at all costs. We need to shield it, as well as the chateau, from anyone who might dare steal it from us.
And how do you plan on doing that?
Well, with our significant wealth, of course.
I need the laughter.
3 laugh heartily. Not doing that? No.
Come on.
Is that...
Cut to interior dining room, present day. The driver continues her spiel with Claude and Clarence.
But you had one fundamental issue. Once you mine the crystal, how do you go about getting it out? A glowing, whispering crystal is hardly the most inconspicuous thing. That's when you hatched a plan. No doubt by accident, knowing you two.
Cut to interior kitchen night. Claude and Clarence look upon their modest hoard of crystal. It flickers with energy, and we can hear the faint whispers calling back to us.
Woof, 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 woof.
Oh, Clarence, we're going to be rich.
Too right, mate. PS5s for the both of us. We can finally go to New Zealand too. The 3-week island tour that I told you about. You remember the one where you started?
Yeah. I remember the PowerPoint, Clarence. We can do it all. Just need to make sure that at that moment, we hear a creak at the door. They hear a creak at the door. Panicking, they look around manically. Clarence grabs their crystals and paces back and forth, looking for a place to stash it. As the door begins to open, Clarence plops it into a giant vat of soup.
Say, you two.
Beryl hesitates a moment, clearly unable to remember the pair's names.
Chefs, you don't happen to have seen anything? I don't know what Beryl's voice is. Chefs, you don't happen to have seen anything odd around here, have you? Anyone making their way down toward the basement?
What?
Yeah.
No, we've been busy making the soup.
This late at night?
Yeah. Really needs to stew, otherwise you don't get the flavours. Beryl approaches and sniffs at the soup. She recoils in disgust.
Oh, Lord, that's pungent. Maybe it could use a bit more seasoning. In that state, I don't see anyone eating it. Right, well, I suppose I'll be off then. But keep your eyes peeled, boys.
Beryl makes her way out of the room. Claude and Clarence look at each other, an idea dawning on them.
You'd hide it in the soup. Already discussed enough from your lack of experience. You double down on your efforts, making it inedible, so that no one would touch it, and you could cart out your crystals innocently. But you did not account for the Americans' ability to endure the most heinous of tastes. That's why Bruce remarked on its crunchiness.
Cut to exterior garden flashback. Bruce joins the group, having just come from inside the chateau.
I had a word with the staff. The cooks seemed to be hiding something, but there was rock-solid alibis. Probably the various health violations in the kitchen. It's no wonder the soup was so crunchy.
Cut to interior dining room day. Bruce leaps up from his chair.
Hey, look at that! I almost solved it. Maybe I'm CIA material after all.
You're not. You're very much not.
You also didn't account for someone else who might not notice the soup being nigh inedible. Someone who, ironically, didn't even need to eat in the first place.
The driver turns to Roger. The entire room turns to face him.
What? What's everyone looking at me for?
He ate the crystals.
Oh, dear.
You did. Not really needing to eat, and just looking to blend in at dinner time. Roger lapped up that soup, accidentally eating a swathe of crystals and ultimately causing his demise.
Oh, dearie me.
Wait, you're saying it was an accident?
His ingesting the crystals was, yes, but his death? No, he was very much killed. But it was not so much a murder of passion or greed, rather one of self-preservation. Wasn't it, Beryl?
The group gasps and turns in unison to look at young Beryl.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun dun dun! Sorry, I kept on reading the scene
great.
descriptions.
I enjoyed that very much.
End credits scene 34.
And credit scenes, my favorite.
Oh yeah. We have another one. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. End credit scene. Right. Should I do this one, Adam?
Yeah, go for it.
No. You do it.
Okay. End credit scene. Exterior Chateau grounds. Past. Young Cyril, making tea for his plush teddies on an intricate picnic table, drops the kettle upon hearing the loud rumble of a truck driving down his driveway. He walks toward the chateau entrance. Alexander, William, and Sebastian stand at the entryway. A mysterious individual in a cloak and cap exits the truck and approaches them.
Sergeant Arnie Conda, you son of a bitch. It's been a long time.
The individual removes his hat, revealing himself to be a snake man.
William, a pleasure to see you once more. That's it. There we go. There we go.
I enjoyed that very
It
much.
was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I feel like I want to read through it again just to catch up on anything I missed on the initial technical issues, but no, that's brilliant. Really well put together. I'm just
Solid.
yeah, it was great.
Sorry
feel
about
like,
the Irish accent, Burge. I didn't realise that would be a stumbling block for you, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's a huge issue.
At home. It goes back to when we used to do the written intros. I suggested the Birds did an Irish accent. He was like, not doing it.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't remember that.
100% my fault as well, because I think it was originally Yorkshire when Yola had it in there, and I was like, no, make it Irish, it'd be funny. Lol.
I think I was going for more like a chimney sweep vibe.
Yeah. I was like, no, leprechaun.
Brilliant script, brilliant
Absolutely on me.
it's so like neatly put together as well. It's tied up a lot of loose ends and a lot of really good callbacks as well. It's like you've done your homework.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like the gasping parts whenever something say like 4 people at once. I really like that. That was fun.
Yeah. 80%.
I think like that was like our goal from the start, is to sort of, like try and like call back previous episodes as much as possible, because like when you're revealing the mystery, you want there to be like tenuous connections to it, the previous episode, as much as possible. So I think we realized Phil, I think, established the soup was disgusting. That was like his like because what was the excellent episode title that you had? The soup.
Soup thickens.
The soup thickens.
The soup thickens. Yeah, the soup thickens, and then like in that, like a point was that the soup was like nearly inedible, and then we had Bruce at one point remark on its crunchiness. I believe because then episode, I think that wasn't even last episode. It was the last episode I did.
Right.
So it's like well before that, but I think I was establishing it as like the soup is crunchy as like a little callback to like those little robots of the drivers.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Their last position was the soup. So, but then we just sort of like recommandeered that, and then the Paris patisserie party was a funny joke, I thought, because like in your episode, Phil, you established that as like the very, very fake name that they make up to protect themselves. Yeah, but I just thought that'd be really funny if it was just the real one. That was actually it.
Jeff's had been waylaid.
Nice job on the Swedish, Phil. You nailed the Swedish.
As
did you, Burge. Swedish.
Thank you, Adam, as well. I spent the last week shitting myself out to try and come up with a Jack.
Same. That was quite a red herring.
I was like,
it was literally about a week and a half ago. I said to Yola, I'm just going to start throwing names out in the WhatsApp.
Knobhead, I may or may not have watched School of Rock in preparation. You were going to put me in that position. Best say, like, why are you repeating what Jack Black says?
It's like well played though, because we've got this history of like celebrity cameos, and obviously last time I got you to do Tom Cruise, which you did very well. So I figured I was due some sort of penance, and then when you mentioned that in the chat last week, I was like, oh shit.
I've no idea where Jack Black came from. That was
it's not in there. Yeah.
But we did discuss the idea of going back to the post credit scenes of it being us and our story, because there's a story going on in the end credit scene, but we're gonna broach that next.
Yeah,
week.
That's what I was thinking. Literally about page. I saw those 30-odd pages, and I thought page 25. Oh, it's going to be in the post credits. Yeah, Jack Black, just get the voice ready.
I love how you made everyone.
Do you want to do it now? It sounds like you've been preparing, Phil. Do you want to throw it out now?
I got nothing. Seriously,
I'll write something good for you.
I love how you made everyone drop these elaborate accents, and then you made Robert drop Scottish for Scottish.
Your Sean Connery is on point, to be fair.
Yeah,
so good.
nailed it.
Great
Nailed it.
And I'm absolutely convinced that the William voice is Burgess' real voice, and he's just pretending to be like amiable northern lad for the rest of the time, but no, he's actually William. Son of a bitch! It's been a long time.
What was it? There was a line delivery that I absolutely freaking loved. That Burge said when he was playing William. Where are they? I think it was the very, very last one. How do you plan on doing that? Was just like fucking quality to me. How do you plan on doing that? It was just excellent. I loved it.
The thing I absolutely loved was like, so I clocked that there was an end credits scene, and I was like, oh, I wonder what it'll be following us in the real world. And then I saw the snake man. I was like, fine.
Also,
just loved the snake man so much.
Well, that was us carrying on with section 2. So that was like the plan to be like the very start of the next episode. But we thought, oh mate, it's so fun. Like, let's put that at the very end of this one, and then we'll do the whole us as in the extra post credit scenes next week maybe. Because we just thought it was a perfect way to jump into it. But yeah,
very
much enjoyed that, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, guys.
Thank you.
Forward to what you come up with for the next one to wrap it all
week.
up. But I feel like you got on a good trajectory there, I'd say. So
yeah, we'll keep going with this the racism Burge. So next week you'll be doing some horrendous ones.
So you said like, oh, you jumped straight into the Swedish accent. The thing with that is, like, we didn't colonize Sweden, so it's fine.
Also, not married to a Swede, are you, Burge? So.
Well,
yeah. Point one. Chumping colonization is
married to a Swede who like doesn't have that Irish accent.
You might as well say a tootie.
Iolo was like, and I'm from Kerry. So
yeah, I mean, I say Iolo's accent pulled out from nowhere was pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends in Ireland that I probably will never show that to.
You did it yesterday when we did a run through, and it blew me away then as well. Cause the idea is it's just like a steadily increasing ridiculous Irishness, and he nailed it like every time.
Were you channeling O'Sheen, Iolo?
Yeah, 100% channeling O'Sheen, poor guy. But yeah, O'Sheen does not sound like that though.
Also, should say, like, I feel like last episode and this episode, Luke kind of has done like quite a lot of heavy lifting with like playing the straight role, as well as like Sean Connery, obviously. But like the driver is a really good. I think.
Yeah, fair play.
I think it's really the driver's come to his own because, funnily enough, I felt like writing the driver this time was
she's a woman.
Easier. It's her. Fuck. It's always been this. Like I don't know what I do with my brain. Like just like genders. I gender people first, and then I reveal the gender. Dr. L will be female.
What's going on with the driver? Is she like a half orc now or something like that? Because where is this voice?
More intense this time. Yeah. More intense.
But it made it easier to write because like you picture her. So like I found it hard to write the driver as sort of like mean. I would like always delve into the more detective side of her than I would like her like meanness like. Doesn't like robots, so I feel like it was me that was like kind of like losing grasp of that character when I wrote my episode last. But like this time, because of Luke's performance in the last episode, I nailed it pretty much straight away because I could really hear that voice in my head. Just shows that like sort of like the importance of the voice because I can write like Cyril's really easy to write for. The Debonair was really easy to write for.
It was nice to have a little Debonair line in there as well.
Little Easter egg.
Time hopping. I enjoyed that. Yeah. No,
I didn't think it was interesting that you didn't get to read it though, Phil.
Sorry?
Was it Phil that read it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where was I then? I don't know.
It's only a line.
Probably reading ahead. Never mind.
Yeah. That's why I was reading backwards through the old script to find like little reference because I wanted to find like I just wanted to find like the best little lines that we would immediately identify, and like the things that came to my head was like the whole woofing sequence. I went to the very first episode and like. The very first line was the Sergeant's Rise and Shine, so I thought first line's a very interesting one. Yeah. And then I've scrolled through. Yeah,
Sorry.
I make smells. I was like, okay, I make smells, and then I really wanted a line from the debonair in there. So then I just read from episode 1 into episode 2, and it's so funny. Like I think I messaged you guys saying like, do you remember how we almost established debonair as like a Mr. Glass type person, and just completely disregarded that? Just like, nah, we're not doing that anymore. Like the fundamental concept of him being evil was that he felt things too much. So like every touch was like a million needles, and so he wanted to some reason be evil.
Yeah, because Mr. Glass was in the script, wasn't it? Like episode 2. It's like, not like
Mr. Glass. Because I think Skimp goes like Mr. Glass.
Yeah, well, like
He goes,
Mr.
no,
Glass.
not like Mr. Glass, you heathen. But yeah, fun, good time, good time
That's
writing
really
it.
good. I'm very excited to
Well,
see.
look forward to the next week.
Is it next week
are we
or
next
2
week?
weeks?
Or what?
I think
Fortnite, so-
2 weeks.
I think I'm away in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I
So
thought we were doing next week, but we can do.
We can do next
next
week.
week it
I'm
is.
in for doing next week. It's just somewhat of an undertaking, but we can do
We'll
it.
see. We'll aim for next
We'll
week.
see.
but
We'll see how we get on.
Don't
See how we get on.
don't rush it. If you feel like you need a bit more time, then it's cool.
Cool.
It's been
That's fine.
It's been a 3-week turnaround for this one, and I think it worked really well. Yeah, I really like the 2-person writing format though, because I'm trying to sort of reading through it. It's like, is that an line? Is that a yellow line? Is that a yellow concept? Is that an Adam concept? Quite interesting. Sort of see the melding of talent. Cool.
Yeah. No, it was a good experience. It was fun because you could just like Richie, like I felt like a vast majority of my sort of like role in it was just sort of like guiding where the story would go. So I would literally just sort of like write a bit that was just mostly just like placeholder. This is generally where the direction to go, and then Adam would like literally like go over mine and make it actually funny and readable, and then carry on in his own words. And it was a dream. I was literally just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
this is
to be
excellent.
honest,
Pay
my
me
thinking,
a great credit there, yo. That's
Yeah,
No, 100%. Honestly, like I was literally
it
just like
was-
basking in it. It's okay.
If I was to characterize it, it feels like an Adam script with yellow concepts, which I guess is what you just said, Iolo. So
Yeah,
Well,
I think like
I don't know, yeah.
that's true. That is because I feel like my scripts tend to be like very high concept, and then I have so much utter bullshit to fit into 25 pages that it's just incomprehensible. So it's like really nice to have like Adam going like, you don't need that shit, and I'm like, okay, thank you. That's great. We do not need to delve into like the history of good and Jordan or whatever. It's like, okay, cool, we don't do that. And so it's like really nice and refined and less manic than my usual shit. It was good. Really enjoyed it.
cool. Should we wrap it
Cool.
up there,
Should we
guys?
wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's call it there, guys. Bye,
pleasure.
everyone.
To you, sir.
Thanks for
I'm
watching.
Phil. Goodbye.
Yeah, I've been Luke, and I love you.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
Toodaloo.